Welcome to TRS Clips, India's fastest learning portal. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell icon. You had earned money through your corporate life.
Yeah.
You had saved up some stuff. And my gauge of you is that you probably gave yourself 3 to 6 months. You said that, okay, I'm going to budget out these 3 to 6 months, but I'm going to dominate and go for it in terms of building my own career. I'm going to build my own business with this little backup of this money that I've saved.
Right.
And then you backed your skills, you backed your learning process, you backed your sales skills, you backed your idea of preparing yourself. Is that what happened in that phase when you were switching from corporate to business?
So I'm going to remove all the masks. I don't think I have a mask on since I started with you anyway. Okay. So we have a pretty similar story there. My dad said, when you're 18, you're out of the house. In my case, okay, you can go where you want, whatever. You do your first tattoo, get your first ear piercing when you're 18. So the moment I was 18, I went and got my first tattoo, whatever. The next day I was on a bus from Goa to Bombay with $200 in my pocket. Okay. Sorry, that's a lie. That's a lie. I had about 10 grand, which was a lot of money. All my DJ money, my collected money. I had a nice music system. 10 grand in my pocket. I headed to Bombay. I was lucky. My mom had a place in Bandra, okay, which I got kicked out of 6 months later because my mom's brother was a priest and he wasn't too happy when he found like a chillam in his chalice in the cupboard and stuff. So I was kicked out, had to rent and stuff, but super journey, no regrets. It was like fun, okay? I worked in McDonald's. I was in IHM.
Wow.
I was in IHM. I got picked up on campus. So there was this whole management course for 6 months where you come, you work in all departments, clean toilets, do all of that stuff, and then you become a management trainee. Stipend was $500. Okay, I was at the Andheri McDonald's and stuff like that. You can't live in Bombay on $500 even at that point. So I would have all my meals, burgers, shakes, all of that stuff at McDonald's. Go back home, I realized this isn't going to be it. Call centers were sprouting up in the country at that point. Okay, salary of $7,000. I said from $500 to $7,000, huge, just go. And over there, you're put into this call center with loads and loads of people, party life, all of that stuff. So worked in a call center for 1.5 years, time of my life, beautiful stuff. And that's when I got picked up for the interview in Dubai, where they came to select call center agents. I said, let me try for the team leader position. Applied, got through. Massive. So went on a slightly higher salary over there. The money I saved in Dubai and all of that stuff, I would send a little money home. I would send a little money to my parents, all of that stuff. Not that they ever needed it, but I felt like doing it. When I came back after a couple of months in Dubai, I took whatever money I had saved and I bought an Enfield. Okay? Absolutely no life plan at all. I think I must mention my dad here. He's brought us up with this word called providence, and we've seen it.
What does that mean?
Always believe in providence means you're being looked after. This doesn't mean you sit at home and don't work. Do your best, but you're being looked after. And I've seen providence in my dad's life like anything. He was the general manager of Caterpillar. You know, life private jets to Switzerland, all that jazz and stuff like that. Retired at a very young age because he wanted to move back to Goa and be with the kids. So all of that stuff, you know, he did that. He made his money, came back. We had a very, very mediocre, decent childhood and stuff like that. But he always told us, I will give you all the best education. After that, you're on your own because you have 6 siblings and I got to look after all of them. Okay? So this providence, I think it's ingrained in me. I always believe that as long as I'm working hard, I'll be looked after. So I went back to London, came back, made a little bit of money, joined IBM on a salary of maybe 20,000. Okay? Worked and stuff like that. Now let me tell you, and I want to tell you this part of the story. When I quit IBM, I got married 1 year before I quit IBM. Okay? Wow. I spent 6 lakhs on my wedding, 5 to 6 with the ring and all of that jazz. You know, Catholic weddings are not, you don't have all these fancy things, peaceful, fun, all of that stuff. In my total savings, I would have had around maybe 15 to 16 lakhs. Okay? Which clearly shows you I didn't really save much. I didn't splurge either. I lived. I paid a rent in Bandra. I wanted to stay in Bandra. I paid a rent of 40,000, all of that jazz. And, you know, I didn't need money to start my business because my business was exactly like you. When I was in IBM, how do I get my first client was the biggest thing. It was Luke. Okay? We had a Britisher in IBM. She was managing an account. And she was like, Luke, I have all these problems. I said, do this, sorted it out. She then spoke to a diamond jeweler, okay, whose apartment she was renting in Juhu. Okay, I don't want to mention that guy's name right now for various reasons. He called me, okay, overweight guy. he said, start working with me and stuff like that. Okay, my fee was like $250, 300, because I'm like trying to please people. I want him to like me for what I do. Sorted him out. Next thing, I was on a plane to Belgium because the whole diamond community is there. He said, oh, this guy Luke, with Gujarati food, he helped me to lose weight. So word of mouth went around, he's not going to stop your kakras and your doklas and stuff. So I was put onto a flight to Belgium. And every single day meeting, all of these diamond community people, building, understanding health, all of that stuff. So I got into that. I didn't need money for that. Okay, I didn't need money for that. Then I told my wife, like, I know, I'm just going to quit now and stuff like that. She didn't give a damn. We didn't even think about, you're not going to have a fixed salary, this, that, whatever. So I had no backup plan. I had Vishal Gondal on one side. Okay, we were building an idea of Goki and stuff like that. He had said, yeah, come, I can afford $50,000 right now, ESOPs and stuff like that, So I just threw myself into it without thinking. A month after that, because I had more time, I don't have a corporate job, my clients increased. And because people needed me more, I started filtering on price. So from $500, I went to 1,000. From 1,000, I went to 5,000. In 3 months, I had gone up to about $25,000 because I could filter it out. I knew I was effective. Okay. I started building, started traveling, all of that stuff. Started saving more, investing more. Learned the power of compounding at that point, very late in life.
How old were you?
35. 35, 36. So everyone says, Luke, imagine if you did this earlier. Yeah, I can imagine, but now I'm going to imagine what I'm going to do in the next 35 years. So I put a personal goal because a lot of my friends were already doing it from 24. I said in 3 years, whatever they've compounded and made, I'm going to make that in 3 years. So then I have no regrets about what I should have done. What's the point? It's gone. I can't go back and change that. But what if I make that amount now and compound that? I'm still ahead of the game. So a little bit of competition is also good,
That's your Michael Jordan speaking.
Why not? I would do that. And I made it. So then Natasha, we had Tiana and stuff. And I was very like, I don't want this family model where the parents are working and the child is like whatever. We had decided no nanny for the kids, no nothing. And she's chilled out. I said, work with me. Work with me. You're a project manager. Manage this. I don't understand Excel. I don't want to look at P&L, all of that stuff. She came on board, started streamlining, so I could just go to my coffee shop every day, Taj Mahal tea place, and consult from morning to night. She was managing the back end and stuff like that. 6 months later, we had to hire a CFO because we had made $1 million.
Wow.
Okay. And we didn't even know. She told me, Luke, this is your account. Now we were like, oh, tax and this. I was like, sole proprietor. We had no clue about it, but moving with the flow. So we got a CFO on board because we both didn't understand. And this was like suddenly something huge coming into your life. And for me, it was like, no, now what should we do? I'm like, what worked for me is what I should continue doing. If we could make $1 million of turnover in like 7 to 8 months, this only means one thing, you're doing it right. So I told her that I need to continue doing this. I can't get into HR, this, that. Can you build a team? She said, I'll build a team. So I was in Singapore when I hired my first nutritionist. Till then, I was doing all the clients myself. I was handling about 150 patients on WhatsApp every day with meetings, going to town. I used to go to people's houses, the high profile people. I mean, today it's different. They come to us, but so a lot of time expenditure. I was in Singapore, couldn't manage. I called up, interviewed a girl, Sneha on my team, hired her on board. She started helping me out with patients. And we just went with the flow. We didn't have a business strategy. We didn't have a vision. There was one vision. Who comes to us, send them with some value add to their life. Either we reduce their pain, reduce their suffering, or we take care of their problems. 3 things. Even till date, that's our company vision. Reduce suffering, reduce pain. If we can put them in remission, heal them, great, do that together. By just focusing on the first 2, you achieve the third in most cases. That's been our company vision. So when the CFO came, okay, what's your 5-term plan? I said, I don't have a 5-term plan. I have a 24-hour plan. I have 15 patients tomorrow. That's my plan. And honestly, Ranveer, there is no story. When people project me today as an entrepreneur, I'm not. My only skill is what I do with my patients every single day. And since I can't do that now, training the rest of my team. So I'm either consulting or I'm either training because I need to make like 30, 40, 50 Lukes now to handle the kind of patients that we have. So I've never gotten involved in business and all of these things. I've stuck on my path. I can easily project myself today as an entrepreneur. I did this, I followed this. No, I did what was my gift. I used my gift. And by using, I'm a huge believer of this. All of us are given gifts in life. Everyone, all of us. If you don't use it, it'll be taken away from you. If you try, you're given a gift, but you try to be greedy and say, I don't want this, I want to take this and try to build this, it's going to be taken away because everyone born is given a talent or some talents, which if we're lucky to find and use it, That is where the abundance comes from. Nothing else. You think people don't have my knowledge? There are people who are way more qualified. In fact, in my entire team, I'm the least qualified. I'm the least qualified in my team because I have registered dietitians, I have medical doctors. I'm integrative lifestyle medicine. Okay, now, by the way, we built an institute today. We're now recognized by Mumbai University. We're teaching people our skill. So the whole point is, I don't have a story. So when people say, Luke, what's your success? For me, it is just be effective with what gift you have.
Yeah.
So if I can be effective with a patient today, that's what's building my business every single day. We've not marketed till today. We don't have a marketing plan. We don't do anything. Now I do know, okay, I can be smart. My CFO said, look, this is great, okay? But what if we do bring in marketing? What if we do bring in structure, strategy? I said, go ahead and do it. Build it. I'm not going to do it. I don't have an interest in it. I don't have the bandwidth for it, and I don't have the passion to do it. You give me patience, that's my passion. So honestly, again, simplicity. Simplicity. I didn't have to feel that I don't have an MBA. How am I going to take this to the next level? My wife is not an MBA. We both live in principle. Some months we've lost money. Big deal. We look at the positives. The other months before we made money. Okay, now let's do it differently the next month. And you'll have downs and ups and downs and ups. We're okay with it. So I've not built a 5-year plan. Like if you tell me my 5-year plan right now is a 1,500 crore company, ask me why. Because I have about 100 people in my team now who have grown with me. If I get that valuation, I can see myself in the Maldives with them, signing out $1 million checks to each of them. And the money I have left over is enough for me to build my hospital, live the rest of my life and stuff like that. That's my 5-year plan. If it happens, happens. Doesn't happen, we move on. It's no big deal. There's nothing to be attached to. My self-worth isn't attached to that. So I've honestly kept it simple. That's the truth of my story. I can make it sound complicated, like I've done this and I've done this and thought strategically. No, the only strategy I have is what I do with my patients. Every patient is a strategy because they're different. So that's my story in short, really, to be quite honest. I've not had struggles, or if I have, I know I'm not holding back anything. I'm an open book. I'm an open book when it comes to things. Made my mistakes, all of that. Yes, overcome certain fears. I was a people pleaser when I started off because who's Luke? Yo, come, I'll treat you free. I want them to like me, so they tell people. But one lady told me that, Luke, don't you have any self-worth? I said, what do you mean? She's saying, you're so good. You don't value yourself to charge for your time? Change in a second. She also complained 3 months later. She said, you moved from 25,000 to $1 lakh a month. I said, that's it. She's saying, that's the way to do it because you're worth that much. So she taught me a lesson by just asking me that simple question. Don't you value yourself? So I'm not ashamed of what I do today. I have content that has reversed people's thyroid, diabetes free, put people's cancers in remission free. And I have people who want my time, pay for it. It's a model that doesn't make me feel guilty at all.